After what feels like an eternity of speculation, Nintendo has finally confirmed a Nintendo Direct for February. Today we're going to speculate a little bit more on what could be in this Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, the wording used in the announcement tweet as well, and more. Of course, if you're new here and you enjoy Nintendo Switch speculation, discussion, theories, I would appreciate you subscribing. Let's get into it. Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Games, and yes, it is finally over. I already posted a video this morning talking about all of the tweets from Puro, potential announcements that could be in the upcoming Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, but just 30 minutes ago at 2 p.m. Pacific time, Nintendo made it official. Their tweet reads, a hashtag Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase is coming. Watch on demand, so it won't be streamed. Watch on demand via YouTube on February 21st at 6 a.m. Pacific time for around 25 minutes of info focus on Nintendo Switch games coming in the first half of 2024 from our publishing and development partners. Now, there's a couple actually really interesting things about this that I think have gone unnoticed with all of the reactions on Twitter. First of all, and let me just say this, I certainly haven't done anything to help the outrageous hype behind this Nintendo Direct, but Puro himself already said, like, I'm not excited for this Direct. It is a partner showcase. I feel like we need to really check ourselves when it comes to getting overly excited for a partner showcase. This is definitely like the most overly hyped partner showcase of all time. At least I'm pretty sure it is. I can't really put myself back to 2020 and the lead up to that Direct. I know that was pretty crazy, but I feel like there's been so much hype and fervor for this specific partner showcase that is unlike anything that I've seen for a partner showcase beforehand. So I just want to say, like, although yes, I've been very adamant about how this could actually be a pretty good showcase, let's reel it back a little bit. Maybe it won't be that good. However, there is something very interesting about the wording in this tweet here and the actual presentation itself. So this is not, if you notice, this is not a Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase. This is a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, which I know is such a silly thing to point out, but they've never done that. Every Partner Showcase we've gotten since 2020, of which there's been, what, 5 up to now, has had the mini branding. This one doesn't, which means there is something in this Nintendo Direct that Nintendo decided was big enough to warrant them getting rid of the mini branding, which I just think is very peculiar, right? You know, the June 2022 partner showcase, like that didn't need to have the mini branding on it. I mean, they showed Sparks of Hope, they announced all the Persona games, Nier Automata, Pac-Man World Repack. Like, there was a pretty sizable amounts of third-party announcements in that Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, and they still called it a mini. But this time, they're dropping that, which just makes me think, maybe there's some more exciting stuff in here than we thought, but I'm not too sure. Now, my buddy Abram from Backlog Banter did notice something interesting in the wording of their tweets for when they announce these partner showcases. They specify that this is focused on games coming in the first half of 2024, which isn't surprising, but they also specify from our publishing and development partners. Now, that is something that they don't always specify, and I've never actually seen anybody mention this. So if you go back and look at some of their older tweets, they will mention it's going to include information from development partners if one of their first-party games is featured. So in July 2020, they said development partners, and in that Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase, they showed Cadence of Hyrule. But then when you look at the tweet from September, where there was no first-party Nintendo games, I don't believe they actually just said publishing partners and didn't mention development partners at all, which would definitely lead some credence to this idea that we will get a new first-party game announced in this Nintendo Direct, just not one developed by one of Nintendo Studios. Now, if you missed my video earlier, we were talking about how Puro is teasing some sort of dolphin game from Nintendo. They tweeted out, is Nintendo a partner? And then they tweeted out, maybe sometimes because Nintendo loves dolphins or something along those lines. And a lot of people immediately kind of flocked to the idea of Endless Ocean making a comeback. Now, Endless Ocean is developed by Eureka. They most recently have done the 99 game, so they did Pac-Man 99 in 2021. They didn't do F-Zero 99, that was Nintendo Software Technology, but they also did Tetris 99 as well as Super Mario Bros. 35. So they've been absent for, 2.5, close to 3 years now. That would apply as a Nintendo partner, right? While also still being a Nintendo IP because Nintendo does own Endless Ocean. Now, apparently there's a Chinese leaker that supposedly has like a track record. I'll admit I am completely unfamiliar with this person's track record, but they are saying that, according to Pure's tweet, it actually is Endless Ocean. Like, they're saying it is Endless Ocean. That's what they've heard. Once again, I'm not familiar with their track record, but if that is Endless Ocean, then, I mean, that just further goes to the idea of this is a development partner, and that is why it would show up in a partner showcase. It's also worth noting that back in 2018, I think it was August 2018, I'll put up the picture and I'll put a link in the description, Nintendo actually filed trademarks for Endless Endless Ocean as well as another code at the same time, which trademarks normally don't mean that much, let's be honest here, but the fact that they were both trademarked at the exact same time and now we're seemingly getting both of these games in a similar time frame is definitely something worth taking a look at. You know, when speculating in the future about trademarks that Nintendo renews, I mean, if both of those happen at the same time, we get 2 remakes of those games in a similar time frame, that's definitely interesting at the very least. So while I know a lot of people wouldn't necessarily be excited for Endless Ocean, I personally would be because I never played that game, and I always like when Nintendo brings back more niche or forgotten IP from like the Wii and GameCube and even further back. You know, I like when they bring back dead franchises. It inherently would be a pretty big deal because a first-party Nintendo game has never been announced in a partner showcase. They've been shown, Age of Calamity was shown, Cadence of Hyrule DLC was shown, like, they show these things, but they never announce them in a partner showcase. Even a remake of Endless Ocean, while it is a remake of a very niche IP that most people don't care about realistically, that is still a bigger deal because it is a new announcement. And frankly, if this is truly focusing on the first half of 2024, this one game kind of solves a lot of the issues people are having with the first half of the year's lineup. Once again, I know it's not very exciting, but when we're talking about quantity, if the first half of the year looks something like another code in January, Mario vs. DK in February, Princess Peach in March, and then maybe April is Endless Ocean or May is Endless Ocean, you get Thousand Year Door in there somewhere, and then Luigi's Mansion 2 in the early summer months, yeah, it's a lot of remakes, there's no doubt about that, but in terms of quantity, in terms of almost hitting that month-to-month release cadence, they would be doing that. I was also thinking maybe they got rid of the mini branding for this one in particular because of the rumored Xbox announcements. Maybe Xbox didn't want to be a part of a showcase that has mini in the title, or maybe Nintendo itself doesn't see, you know, Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves as games that should be announced in a mini presentation. It's also possible that in general they're just going to drop the mini branding moving forward because it kind of optically looks like a lesser presentation simply from the word mini being in there. Maybe their third-party partners didn't like being associated with a smaller presentation, if that makes sense. Regardless, we'll have to wait and see. I expect Puro will probably tweet some more stuff. Unless there's something completely unexpected, I will not be uploading again until this partner showcase happens, at which point I'll upload my reactions and do some sort of discussion video follow-up. And before I end off here, I will say it's very interesting that, like, they announced this almost 2 days in advance. Normally, a Nintendo Direct only gets 24 hours notice. This is getting more like 36 hours notice for a partner showcase, which is a little weird. I wonder if they announced it just to kind of quell the fears because there's been so much rampant speculation with this partner showcase in particular. I think that's a little interesting, although it probably doesn't really mean anything. I read too much into Nintendo's marketing and when they announce things and when they actually air them, so it probably doesn't really matter, but let me know what you think down in the comments below. Are you excited for this partner showcase? Once again, I would say I'm excited for it personally as a fan of the Switch and a fan of getting more games for the Switch, even if it is old ports. I'm excited to see what third parties have in store for us. I'm excited for Endless Ocean, and, you know, I hope that we can finally get past this, get to that Pokemon Presents, and then maybe in March get some other exciting announcements from a Nintendo first party. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Of course, subscribe here for more Nintendo Switch news, theories, discussion, speculation, all of that. Follow me on Twitter at BotoxGame, and join the Discord that is linked down in the description. Until next time, folks, peace.